Welcome everybody. Welcome. Okay, let's start. Today we will need some attention and clarity. Hoping our day went well, and we will cross some topics that will require our attention. It's very interesting, and let's start. Continuing with explanation of matter and how it is generated. Today we see the what already. We saw a little bit the how, and now we will see the when, and also the generation of it. Why is it that matter comes up to be what we are now, inwardly, and externally also? What are the differences?
Yes, so today we're going to start with the Rupa Samutana. Samutana actually means like arising, so the arising of matter. Samutana, in other words, we always say like kammaja-rūpa, chitta-ja-rūpa. No? So ja comes from jati, is the born, so or samutana, the arising. So today we're going to continue with the arising of matter, the four causes, and we'll go into details. So let's start by paying respect to the Buddha, and then we'll go into the contents.
Okay. We remember our teachers and the teacher of all our teachers. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Iti piso bhagava araham sama sambuddho vichacharana sampanno sukato lokavedu Anutaro purisa dhamma sarati sattha deva manusanam buddho bhagavati sadhu sadhu sadhu. May all our teachers be healthy, well, and continue with energy and inspiration to continue planting seeds in all of us.
Yes. Okay, so let's start. And today we will first look at a general view of the four causes of matter, of what kind of matters are caused by which kind of causes. Now, so the first graphic, we will first look at a table, which will be easy for us to understand. Now this here will appear some rupas, which kind of rupas, then we will see what are the causes, that they are being produced. Now the first 9 of them, which are the 5 pasada rupas, the 5 sensitive matters, 2 gender matters, and 1 jivita rupa, life faculty, and the hadayawatu, the heart base. These 9 kind of matter are purely produced by karma, and no other causes that cause these 9 kind of matters. So some people have very good eyes, and then they don't need glasses, or some people hear very well, or any kind of these ones. These matters are only produced by our past karma.
Our previous actions gave all the qualities that we are enjoying in this life. Came from our previous actions. In this life, some of them, but mostly from previous lives. It was already set up.
Yeah, past and yes, always past, because karma only give result in later on. No, it does not give result in the same moment. So as Bante said, in previous life or this life as well.
Yes.
So it is possible.
One thing, my dear family, that we have heard over and over from our teachers. Most of the time when they refer, for example, let's take an example, our good side or bad eyesight. It is dependent on our previous action, but most of the stories we hear is what we do for others, for their well-being of eyesight or for their detriment of eyesight. There is a story of a blind man, a person who born blind, and then it was asked to the Buddha, why? Because the Buddha could see previous causes of karma, remember? So the Buddha says that in the past, that used to be a doctor. And that doctor, it was an ophthalmologist. It was a doctor for the eyes, or mostly working with the health of the eyes. And then a lady came to seek for treatment. and then he treated the lady, but then the lady had some economic difficulties and couldn't repay him. So the negativity of the doctor was very angry about the fact, and then later on in another treatment that he gave, he actually gave something that was harmful. It was harmful for her side, out of animosity and anger, and apparently that was the cause that caused him in the future life to have problems with his eyesight. So the point I'm making is, more than what we do for ourselves, apparently, not just with this example, but many others that we have heard, is what we do for the well-being or the health of others. So, for example, thinking on doctors and physicians and nurses, what they are really doing, if they are helping others, if they're investing their energy for the well-being of other people, physical well-being, or in the case of a psychologist or something for mental well-being, or teaching something, we are directly planting the seeds in our altruistic service to others. Is what this Kamma becomes stronger. At least that's the line that we have listened over and over again. So we can focus on that and think, if we want to enjoy, it happens that we have another life and want to enjoy good senses, well, we know clearly what we can do.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So just some details about the story that Bhante just said. This is the story of the first verse of the Dhammapada. If you want to refresh the memory of the story, or you want to read more about it, it's the story of the first Dhammapada verse. Actually, the monk, the venerable, he became an arahant, and then later on he lost his eyesight. And so the Buddha explained why. So that was the story of that. And I think we talked about this story previously also. So anyway, also very good reminder of what we do, not only for oneself, but also for others. So this is karma, no, actually our own action, whether it is helping others or harming others, or helping oneself, or doing things for oneself. Yes. So this is kammaja-rūpa.
And as the verse says, mind is the forerunner, mind is the chief, mind is the leader. Whatever we do with a pure mind, with an impure mind, suffering will follow, like the wheel following the steps of the ox. And in the second verse of the Dhammapada is the opposite. Whatever we do with goodness and kusala mind, happiness follows us like our never departing shadow. So directly in this case, from our good intentions, physical actions becomes the quality that we are having now. So if we are to judge, we can generally say that we did good in the past in order to have these conditions right now. So we just need to continue and hopefully make it wisely better, consciously better.
Okay. So, there is message there from Fernando. I think he sent the reference.
Yeah, Fair just send the reference for the story of Venerable Chakupala, and it is there on the chat. If anybody wish to follow up, thank you, Fair, so much.
Thank you. Okay, so let's continue. Now, so these 9 kinds of rupa is purely produced by Kamma. Then let's see another group. Then the 2 vinyati is produced by chitta.
Verbal and physical intimation.
We'll come back here. So let's see all the table first, and then we will come back to these 2. And then we have sound. This one kind of rupa is produced by chitta and by udu. Now here, as you see, what to do? Okay, let's see all. Then we will come back because there are more details about this that I want to share with you. Okay, then we have the lightness, the softness, and flexibility. This
of
kind
matter.
of rupa of matter is being produced by chitta, udu, as well as ahara. So these 3 produce this kind of matter. And then here you see there are 9 other kinds of matter, which is the 4
great elements.
4 great elements, the mahabhuta. Then we have rupa, then we have smell, taste, nutriment, and space, akasadadu is being produced by all four causes. It can be caused by all four causes.
Kamma, chitta, temperature, and nutriment.
Okay, and then we have the last, and here we have the four characteristics: the arising, existing, changing, and decay of matter is actually produced by no cause. So none of this, it is just a characteristic of matter, so no cause directly. Now, okay, now I see already, now we will come there, because there are some here is something is wrong here in the table. Like
what?
So when I was looking also, didn't we say that vinyati and the lightness is not produced by any causes? Because we said that the vinyati, there are nirvana-rūpa and anirvana-rūpa, no?
Which
like concretely produced matter and non-concretely produced matter. So concretely produced matter are only 18, which these characteristics and the intimations and space are not included. Yes, remember? So how come here again we say that it is produced by a cause, if we just previously said that there are no cause about these because they are only characteristics? Now here, then we will come. This intimation, bodily intimation, it is said that it is caused by chitta, which is actually indirectly. If we understand in a general way, then we can very easily understand, of course, it is caused by chitta, because if I want to say something, it's because of mind.
The mind wants to say something with the words, with words or with the body, with the action, wants to communicate to somebody else. We have the intention, it moves the muscles, and then it moves the matter. The mind is moving or generating that movement in the matter, and then the communication, either verbal or physical, happens.
Yes, and this is connected with sound. For example, if the mind is thinking about something, so it produces sound, no? Like because I'm saying something, it produces sound, and then so it causes a verbal intimation here. So some words are being said, and then it is a communication. But strictly speaking, actually, what is being produced at this time is only the
four great elements.
Is an element. For example, in the case of the physical movements, let's say I say something like this, or I say stop, or I say something. Actually, what is being produced, strictly speaking, as we saw a previous class, is only the wind element. Yes. So wind element moved the thing now. So now mind produced this wind element, and as well as it has some changes or some quality in the mode of this wind element that communicates something.
So mind has intention, it generates the wind for matter
wind
to
element.
move, and then the wind element starts crushing our vocal cords, and then suddenly sound comes out.
Sorry, but they mixed it. That wind for movement and for sound is earth.
Yes. But what I'm saying, I'm just giving the full picture. The mind comes, the movement, and then because of the movement it crashed, then the sound come up as general. But yes, that has different characteristic over there.
So here is just a detail, very detailed, that what actually being produced is in the case of body intimation. So our movement, our gesture is actually some kind of modification in the wind element
of matter.
In the wind element produced by mind, because you see all these elements is possible to be produced by kamma, by chitta, by temperature, and by nutriment. No, so what really is being produced is, in this case, some modification in the wind element, which becomes our gesture. No, so therefore, indirectly we can say that this gesture is produced by mind. Is that okay until here?
Everybody okay?
Yes.
Good.
Okay.
We want to communicate, hence we generate movement either with the body or to make the vocal cords crash and generate later on sound.
Yes. So this clarification is only because previously we have seen that this kind of matter is not caused by any specific cause, no, but here again we say that it is caused by this, so therefore we have to make this specific clarification here. So sound, there is no problem. Chitta can produce sound because of mind, so that we are speaking, so produce sound. And udu, temperature, like when the wind blows in the tree, then the leaves make sound, no? So this kind of sound is just purely temperature produced sound.
And as we know, temperature and wind has a big interrelation. The state of wind changes a lot. The behavior of wind outside, I'm talking outside, changes a lot with the changes in temperature.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
It gets more agitated when it is hot. It gets more passive when it is cold. Passive and more somehow condensed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we come to these three characteristics. We need to understand it in the same way as the intimation rupas, because here what is being produced is not exactly the characteristics, but it is some kind of modification of some kind of characteristics which are in the four elements or in other matters which is being produced by, in this case, chitta, udu, and ahara. Okay, so let's say, for example, when the mind is very happy, is very happy, then it produces some kind of matter, which is basically the awiniboga, the 8 inseparables, sometimes plus other things, and as well as some characteristics of lightness, softness, and flexibility, because the mind is very happy or is light at that moment. So that's why in this case, it is said that it is being produced by mind in this sense.
When we are happy, the body feels more light, and when we feel depressed, sad, or angry, the perception, and actually I'm very curious about measuring it. It might be that we are heavier. I would like to check that if we are heavier when we are depressed, because definitely the body experiences, feels like that. And when we are happy, easily to serve, easily to help, light, and this is the quality.
Mm-hmm. And as well as in udu, we can also understand when temperature is good, then the body also sometimes feels light, no? So it can also be caused by temperature. Then when there is a lot of humidity, we kind of feel like little heavy dumped and like that. So also temperature also has to do. And ahara, of course, food. If we eat something very heavy, then also the body feels heavy. Or if we eat something fresh, then the body also feels light. So these are just some mode, some kind of changes that is included in the matter which are produced by these three causes in the great elements. Okay. Now here space as well. Space obviously is not produced directly by anything, but since the matter, when they are produced, two matter, there are already spaces always there, no? Because of two kalapas, the space between two kalapas. So we can indirectly say that space also can be produced by all kinds of matter, all kinds of reason. Because between the two kalapas of kamma, so there are automatically space being produced there. Not produced, but it's already there. So that's why it is said like that. And the characteristics, well, 4 characteristics are common to all. So there are no specific cause for them. And so here, let's take a quick look at the numbers. So all these 9 matters, they are only produced by one cause, only kamma, nothing else. These 2 also only produced by indirectly by chitta only. Then sound by 2 causes. And then lightness by 3 by 4. And so here we have a little table which will be helpful there for later reference. Okay.
If you wish to take a snapshot or photo or something, later we can reference it.
Okay. So let's continue. Now we come back to the 4 causes of matter, and we will first look at kamma, and then we will go. Actually, we will go to each of them in details. So the first one we're going to look at is kamma. So kamma actually is action, right? So kamma, our action, produced some kind of result. It produced, we have already seen in previous chapters, vipaka chittas, the resultant consciousness, and sometimes as well as this kammaja-rūpa. So this kind of metta, which is generated by kamma. Now here, actions, we have seen previously, means any kind of actions that we do, good actions and bad actions or any actions. And
Kusala or akusala.
And to be precise, what we call kamma is the mental volition that accompanies those actions, no? Okay, so here...
The intention we have for doing things. Remember the very seed of kamma.
The volition. So here, again, it's important, so we'll repeat one more time. Kusala, akusala, and kusala, unwholesome or wholesome actions, are the ones that plant seeds, no? The mind. And we have another two categories, which are resultant consciousness, that are the good result and bad result, and they are the direct result of our actions. And then we also have some other kinds of chitta, which is called functional kriya, which are neither fruits nor seeds. They are only functional. So what is kamma? What we call kamma is only the chetana of kusala and akusala. Only. So this is important. Vipaka is not kamma. Kriya also is not kamma. Whenever we talk about kamma, it's only kusala and akusala.
Yes, the active side of the mental process in the jhavanas, remember?
Yes. Okay. So here, now, do you remember in very long time ago, in chapter 1, we have studied all kinds of chittas. And so about akusala chittas, unwholesome actions, we have seen that there are different kinds. So if you remember, we have 8 kinds of lobha mula chittas, greed-rooted consciousness. And then we have 2 kinds of dosa mula chitta, hatred-rooted consciousness. And we have 2 kinds of moha mula chitta, 2 kinds of illusion, ignorance, rooted consciousness. No?
Do you remember that what makes the numbers is that if it is prompted or unprompted, or if it has wrong view or not, or without wrong view, this is what makes the differences.
Yes, so these are all actions in terms of akusala, only these kinds. Now, for mundane kusala wholesome, so mundane ones, kusala, then we have 8 sense sphere kusala. Then we have 5 jhana, this is rupa kusala. And then we have 4 kinds of arupa kusala. Yes, so all kind of good things that we do, these 8 are done with these 8 kinds of consciousness, no? Whether it is with wisdom, without wisdom, or
prompted or unprompted, invited by someone else, or just naturally goodness that naturally springs from ourselves without inspiration of anybody or nothing.
And these 5 are the jhana chittas, when someone practices samatha meditation and gains the fine material, fine material jhana. In this case, it's also kamma. Then means action. Then the 4 non-material jhanas as well. So this is mundane kamma that produce result. But now here we have to first take a look at these 4. Okay. Yes. Remember these 4 arupa jhana. They can happen, of course, that if a person is a human being, they can practice jhana, and then if he's the deva or he's a Brahmin, he can still practice jhana. And in this case, the seed can be planted in different realms, but the result only happens where? In the non-material plane, yes? Because when a person has this kind of jhana, this kind of kamma will only give result in the non-material plane. Yes. So therefore, in this case, these 4 arupa jhana, they do not produce kammaja-rūpa. Because in these planes, there are no rupa at all. So therefore, these 4 kinds of arupa jhana cannot produce kammaja-rūpa. Because the place where it gives result has no rupa at all.
Yes.
Is it okay until here?
Everybody yes? Good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. So therefore, in this case, now we are talking about what kind of kamma causes rupa, no? So therefore, we have to exclude these 4. So these 4 does not produce. So here we only have then 12 akusala and 13 mundane kusala that produce rupa. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, so now just as a little reminder, kamma, when a kamma is being done, the result will happen as we saw previously. It can happen in the present life, or it can happen anytime throughout samsara, no? So that means in terms of the mental process, what plant seeds, whenever we do kusala and akusala is always in the javana, no? The other ones are just vipaka and functional, no?
The active side of the mental process,
Yes,
where
so
we are actually doing something with the objects that the mind received based on the fruits of their previous kamma.
yes.
The seed is inside the apple, and that seed has the potentiality to make another tree and many more apples. The seed is not the tree, the seed is not the apple, and the apple is not the seed, but they are
related.
definitely related. One cannot exist without the other. In the same way, our actions and their fruits roll on.
Mm-hmm. So here, remember, kamma is only kusala or akusala. So here, it only happens in the javana time, no? So here, when the seed is being planted, the result does not happen in the same moment. Yes, because this is only kusa and akusala, so they cannot be vipaka as well. So vipaka always happen afterwards. Yes? The result always happen afterwards.
The mind is either receiving or being active, acting on the object. It receives and it is passive, and it is doing it billions of times right now in our minds. Is receiving information and then do something with the information. Then goes back to receiving, feeling the fruit, and then do something with it. It's really like a machine, acting and passing. Really like the engine of a train. It pushes and pulls and pushes and pulls. Active, receives and charge. Active, receive and charge, and keep moving.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So therefore, the point here I want to say is that kamma is always kusala and akusala, and the result is always happen later, not at the same time. Yes?
Yes.
So in this case, we are talking about the chetana accompanying these 25 types of chitta, and they are actually past karma, no?
I mean, again, this part, what?
Yes, so the 25 types, because we exclude the 4 arupa jhanas.
25 types of chitta, and the chetana, the intention that accompanies these 25 types of mental units, kusala and akusala, yes, meaning our past karma.
That it's our past karma, they produce
matter.
Okay? Yes, so this kusala and akusala, 12 kind of akusala and 13 kind of kusala, the ones that we just saw right now, these actions which we have done in the past produce this kind of rupa in the future.
Until here, everybody, can we make the picture? How is it working? In ourselves, again, as a reminder, this is us. We are talking about the body that we are carrying right now. It did that when we were born, and it is doing it right now, and we are making the future results. We are planting them. The seeds of the future results, we are planting them right now.
Mm-hmm. So past and future, remember, not necessarily just only past life and future lives, no? Also anything that is past and anything that is coming in the future, like maybe tomorrow or something.
Yes.
Something we do today maybe can cause some kind of kammaja-rūpa tomorrow possible.
We are describing any and every kind of human being. People we like, people we dislike, even people who misbehave, or a politician that we don't like. Animals also is doing precisely that thing, generally unknowingly, but it is the process of the movement of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay,
so,
and to hear everybody okay?
It's okay?
Everybody okay?
Yes.
Welcome.
Today is a little bit technical, and it will go a little bit more technical. Just a little bit. Let's
breathe, and we will take some break. We will cross this one, my dear family. Good.
Yes. Okay.
If you have a notebook or something, if something pops up, a question, write it, and then we open the space for clarifying things. Or if you have something, I mean, we are little people. If you feel something, just raise your hand, and then we discuss.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now we have seen these 25 types of past karma, 12 of them are kusala, 13 of them kusala, produce kammaja-rūpa. Now the question is when? Okay, so it actually begins with patisandhicitta, because a human life, remember, a human life starts with patisandhi, no? Start with the rebirth consciousness and a life begins.
The reconnection moment.
So starting from that moment that this kammaja-rūpa happens. Now, as a little refreshing of memory, remember that a person, let's say he passed away, then chuti chitta arises.
Death consciousness happens, the last consciousness on the previous life we were.
So this last death mental process, maranasana viti, finish. Then immediately after chuti, patisandhi arises, and this is the present life. Yes, this is the new life. Then after 15 to 16 bhavanga, then the first mental process, which is the Pawan Kantika viti.
In the kalala, you remember the little oil that arose in the junction of the sperm of our father and the little egg of our mom. So at that moment, the consciousness just reconnects. That thing should be happening precisely at the same time. We die, and the fertilization of the little egg with the sperm comes in, and at that very moment, that's why we got the patterns we have. That really happened temporarily at the same time. One finished, and then the other one had the opportunity with the same potentiality to come in and generate this immediately as arriving. Taking as a base the materiality from the sperm and the little egg to with our kamma born matter to become what came to be this.
And more details will come now.
Yes.
So here in the patisandhi moment is where we call a new life starts. No? Like this one is finished, like as this lady's finished, now this little boy is like is coming to be his new life. So in patisandhi moment is new life. So about these processes, we have already seen in the session 40. If you want to refresh memory later, you can go back to the video of session 40 about the dying and the rebirth process. Okay, so coming back here, what happened is that we always say that in patisandhi moment, rebirth linking moment, what happens is that the vipaka chitta together with its chatasika plus 3 groups of 10 material properties arise together. Yes, so we have said this so many times. Now we are coming into the details finally, which 3 groups and how they arises. So this kammaja-rūpa, this 3 group is actually the group of 1 kaya dasaka kalapa, which is the body decade, the 10th of the kalapa, which has 10 kinds of we may call material properties inside. Here you see this kaya, this body is bigger, but it is not bigger. It's actually because this is the kaya group. Therefore, I make it bigger just to show that this is the group. So this is the it contains what, the 8 inseparable elements, and then of course it is a human being. It also has a life faculty.
Life faculty for the matter.
And the kaya, the body sensitivity.
It is already, this little liquid, the kalala, you remember this little oil, it already has all the potentiality that came from the seeds there, and it will start dividing into cells, etc., etc. The fetus start growing, developing the senses, and then consciousness starts coming in with sight, sound, smells, taste, and touch.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the next group, coming back to patisandhi, not that far yet. So coming back to patisandhi, second group is hadaya dasaka kalapa, which is the heart decade, the kalapa, which has the 8 awiniboga, inseparables, jivita, life faculty, as well as heart base. So this is the second group. So we call it hadaya dasaka. So the heart decade meaning 10 things. Then
which, as you remember, the heart base, or is it the base we can call it generally, it will be the standing point for the mind to be holding and being connected with the matter.
Yes, okay. If we don't want to use the word hadaya because the Buddha didn't mention, then just use watu dasaka, base matter.
I have to be honest, I'm of that team. I prefer not to use Hadaya because it brings a lot of speculation. And the Buddha just mentioned Dhatu. The mind is based, Watu, sorry. So that Watu is just based. The mind is based on matter. We
Some
can say.
kind of matter, he didn't specifically say
I
what.
prefer that.
But anyway,
view,
we
but
discussed about this already previously, so not going back to that now.
So
then another group is called Bhava Dasaka Kalapa. Here is the gender decade, and here you see that we have male or female, but only one of them. Here I just said because we don't know whether it could be male for the male and female for female, no? So in here all only.
At least to generate the structure, the physical structure. Remember, we are talking about body, not the mental preferences of the individual.
Okay, so here again in the Patisandhi moment, what happens is that the Vipaka Chitta together with the Chetasika, which is actually Patisandhi Chitta, no? The rebirth consciousness together with these three groups of matter, three kalapa arise together at the same time.
So, Patisandhi, mind and matter, Nama-rūpa arise at the same time.
Okay, now hold this information for a little bit. We will go somewhere else and come back. Okay, so Patisandhi Chitta with the three groups of matter arise together. Now, remember.
Let's breathe. Catch up. Ready, let's go. Hold information and we'll be moving. Attention.
Now, remember, Chitta has three moments, no? Arising moment, existing moment, and dissolving moment, no? So every mind moment has three sub-moments, yes? Remember? Arising moment, existing moment, and dissolving moment, no? Okay, so now let's go to the mental process of the starting from Patisandhi. So starting from Patisandhi, three moments, three sub-moments, three sub-moments, three sub-moments. Let's separate it in this way. So
arising, existing, and passing. Arising, existing, and passing. Yes.
One Patisandhi, 15 bhavanga or 16 bhavanga, then the mental process start. Yeah. Okay. So now we're talking about kammaja-rūpa. Let's see what happens here. We'll make it bigger. So starting from Patisandhi, we said that these three groups of matter arise together in the arising moment of Patisandhi. And the kammaja-rūpa here, they arise actually in every sub-moment of the mind. Okay?
Once
kammaja-rūpa is being produced in every sub-moment.
Nature has no waiting room. Nature never waits. As soon as our consciousness gets connected in the womb of our mother, immediately the process of generating matter starts already. When the sperm and the egg and the consciousness came, matter starts generating from every sub-moment, generating kamma, matter, because at that time we need to start growing and separating into cells, etc., etc.
Okay, so remember, kammaja-rūpa, it is being produced in every sub-moment of Chitta. Okay, so now here, remember, these rupas are being produced by Kamma, not produced by Bhavanga, no here. Although they arise in the same moment, they are produced by Kamma. Okay, until here, are we okay? Okay, so now we will see a little more detailed graphic to see how it actually works. So in the Patisandhi moment, the three groups of kalapa, agenda, the base, and the body. Here I use the boy because this is just a little boy here. Anyway, can be a girl as well. So these three group happen. So in the first moment, arising moment of Patisandhi, totally there are three kalapas there. Okay? And these three kalapas in the existing moment of Patisandhi, these three are still there.
They still continue. Remember, because they stay for 17 moments.
Yeah, because they don't arise and pass away immediately. No, they arise and then they last for 17 mind moments. That means 51 sub-moment. Then they pass away. Yes. Okay. Until here. Okay. So these three that is being produced in the rising moment is still existing in the
second
moment. And in the existing moment, another three new one is being produced. Yes, so here there are 6 already. Okay.
And here we go exponentially.
Yes, then in the same way, these 2 that are being produced here, will continue here, will exist, and another 3 new one will arise. So here 3 of this, no, 2, yeah, 2 plus 1 new one,
3,
and then
3,
this 2
3.
plus this 1 new one, then 2 plus this 1 new one, and 3 will be here. Then we have 9 now. And in the same way, then these 3 will still exist, another new one being produced. So 4, 4, 4, and 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6 in the same way. So it's growing. Yes. Now, at this point,
and a baby comes out. Wow, unbelievable.
Yes. Okay. And at this point, we are still talking about, this is like a less than a blink of an eye, no? Because we are only talking about 17 mind moments, no?
Billions and billions and billions and
no?
billions of them
Yes.
per second.
So here only one, so billionth of a second, and this is happening. And now, what I want to show you here is what happened in the 17th moment. In the 17th mind, including, so 1 Patisandhi and 16 Bhavanga here, no? That makes 17 Chittas. So in the rising moment, there are 49 of each of them, 147. Then we have 50, 150. Then in the last moment, ceasing moment of the 17th mind, in that time, then there are 155 Kalapas. These 3 groups, no? There. Okay, so what happened in the next moment is that the already existing 51 plus 1, just arising new one, and 1 that just ceased.
The last one starts ceasing. So yeah, because this one was finished, then they start moving, arising, and then dying. Then the death of matter, as we know, all our cells are arising and passing away right now in our bodies. That's why we age and that's why we change. And our atoms are arising and passing away. That is the thing that is calling. They arise, stay for a little while, and then start dying. Arise, pass away, movement happens.
Mm-hmm. And now here in this graphic, although I put it like here, but it's actually no more, no? Because they are existing, actually all 51 is here already. But then I wanted to show you here because this one, this -1, the blue one, it arisen here.
Yes.
Yes, and it existed all this time together until, because this is all gone, no? Like each moment is all gone. But I show the graphic in this way just to remind that this one arose the first in this place, in the first arising moment of Patisandhi, but it's already the one of the 51 here.
Yes.
And then it passes away. So
one amazing thing is that all this thing is happening only in the present at once, one by one, meaning the past does not exist. We need to show it graphically in order to make the map in the mind, but that past is already gone. It's only the matter arising and dying in the present moment right now. Many billions and billions of particles are arising in our body and at the same time dying because the process has never stopped since we born. That's why change happened, anicca is happening in a very rapid succession.
Yes. Okay, so let's finish with this. So now 51 already that is here from the last moment, and then plus 1 new one that just arise right now, and -1 that just ceased. So at the end, it's again 51. Yes, because it's -1 plus 1. Yes?
One born and one dies at the same time. So we always find ourselves with a 51 number.
Yes. So 51 of the gender matter, 51 of the heart, and 51 of the body. So in this time, it still have 153. In this case. So, and the next moment it will happen the same because the one that is born here will die, will pass away.
Die, born. Life and death happening at the same time. We are born and dying right now.
And then now here we may think, but how is that possible that we only have 51 rupa all the time? That is not possible because that's very little, no? The body is so big that it's not possible. Now here, with 2 points we have to consider. One is that this is just when it started, how it started, when it started. But later on in these only 3 groups, yeah? But in around the 11th week of the baby, then all the eyes, Chaku Pasada and the Sota ear sensitivity, nose sensitivity, tongue sensitivity, and all these other kinds of material property will also arise and will be completed at that time. So more and more is coming. and so it will keep growing, as well as this is just a number to show us how it arises and how it passes away in the 17 moment, like moving in a chunk. But that does not mean that only one of them arises at each time. So in every sub moment, Sayadaw said, actually a lot of
many particles.
Many rupa arise at the same time. So it is different. Rupa is different than mind. Chitta only arise one at the moment, only one. When this pass away, then another one arise, another one arise. But for metta, they can arise a whole bunch at the same time.
Rupa can pile up. Matter
Lot.
cannot. It's only a chain, one after the other, and mind is Rupa can, mind cannot pile up. It has happened once after the other, like a chain.
Yes.
The previous one must die. It's a requirement for our unity of consciousness to arise. It is a requirement that the previous one have died already. It is not the same for Rupa. They can interlap one to the other with billions and trillions of particles.
And many can arise together at the same time.
Yes.
So here, like Sayadaw said, now we're only talking about kammaja-rūpa, like a matter bond produced by Kamma. So Sayadaw said, depend on the Kamma of each one, how many rupa will arise, the different. Sayadaw said, for example, for an elephant, surely a lot at the same time it will arise. Maybe for a little mouse, then maybe less. So it depends on the karma of what kind of being it is going to become, and the matters that will arise accordingly. This calculation here is only for reference to see how they arise and pass away. Does not mean that we only have 51 gender matter or 51 the watu matter only at each moment.
I have one question, my dear family. Isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing that this process is happening and we are part of it, and it so happened to be floating in the cosmos in a planet who knows in which corner of the galaxy, and it is happening right now and we are part of it. We are it. All the people we know, all the animals we have ever known, is it? The question is, isn't it amazing? We are it. That's what is happening.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah. Okay. So, and let's get all like wow, like that after one more slide. Okay?
Because no nos baje la pila,
no, it's because it's going to add more.
Se va a poner mejor, señoras y señores. It's coming better. It's coming better.
Okay, so now
the better thing of it is that it is real. This sounds like magic, like poetry, like unbelievable. Well, we are that. And then, Charana, please surprise us.
And also, remember, now we're only talking about kammaja-rūpa. Later, we will also talk about mind bond matter, chitta-ja-rūpa, uduja matter, temperature, and also ahara, which is a nutriment bond. So many. So it will accumulate. But here we only focus on kamma first at the moment. Okay. So now this is how it starts. Main point here. You don't have to remember every single thing. You just understand it. The main point we have to know is that it starts from kammaja-rūpa starts from the arising moment of patisandhi, and it is being produced at each sub-moment.
Of mind. Each sub-moment of mind.
Yes, each sub-moment it is being produced, and there are many of them. They can happen many at the same time. Okay, so now let's go to when it stopped producing. Okay, so it starts producing at patisandhi moment, and when does it stop producing? So throughout life, every single sub-moment now happening.
Every single mental sub-moment.
That this kammaja-rūpa, all kinds of kammaja-rūpa is being produced in us. The 9 types, though, the one that we saw, plus some other things. And so every single moment is being produced. Now,
we have eyes right now, isn't it? We have ears, right? We can hear right now. It arising and passing away, and it's continue constructing in order for us to continue perceiving the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so when does it stop producing? Now, let's say this person, he has grown up, and throughout his life, in every sub-moment of mind, and kammaja-rūpa is being produced, just like what is happening to us right now at this moment. Now, when his life is going to be finished, and that means Chuti arises, and then Patisandi he will be reborn into another being, then Patisandi start a new life. So that means the last moment of his life is Chuti. Yes, it's Chuti. So what happened with the Kammaja-rūpa is that just 17 mind moment before Chuti, the Kammaja-rūpa stop arising.
So the last part, before we die, the last 17 moments, the body just goes gliding like a plane with the engines off. The matter already before the body is dying, but consciousness continue for 17 moments, and then we turn off the plane, and for 17 moments the body just continue with whatever there was, because it's not generating anymore. Talking about Kamma, it's about to die, so it just glides, whoosh, die, yes. And another fetus, another mama and papa, sperm and egg comes together, and here we go again. Starts another, in case of human being, start another journey.
Yes. So here the amazing thing is that, like Bante said, 17 moments before the Chuti Chitta arises, then Kammaja-rūpa stop arising. So whatever is still here,
arose, whatever arose already,
here, then slowly it will start fading out. And at the end, what is being produced at this last moment, at the end, it will fade totally together with Chuti Chitta. All kinds of Kammaja-rūpa will cease together with Chuti Chitta.
And that Kamma will accompany the new being in a new womb already. Whatever is left of the dead body is only the other. Why the body does not disappear? Because there is still some matter there, because there are other kinds of matters, isn't it? The one for food, the food that the person that died that day ate some food in the morning, if he died in the evening or something, so that food's still on the body and continue giving. That's why we can see and touch the dead body. But Kammaja is not growing anymore, and Chittaja definitely not, because but when it's dying already in the when it's dead already, definitely no. The bind is already in another womb, in another mother.
It does not go, but
it arises and passing away in the next womb.
Yeah, the same process, not continuum of this being, arise in another place.
Yes.
Of the mind. Yeah. Okay, so.
Fed has a question, but maybe you finish this and then we get to that.
Okay, we get there. Yeah. So so actually, until here was what I was thinking, that wow, like, so therefore I said wait a little bit. Like I said, this is how nature works, and then it's just this 17 moment before we die. So kind of like amazing, no? Like the somehow it just knows that we are finishing, like we are dying. So 17th moment before that, it stopped producing Kammaja-rūpa no more, and in the last moment, Chuti Chitta together with Chuti Chitta, whatever is there, the Kammaja-rūpa, they will all cease together, and that's it for this life, and then another new life start.
And the circle continues, and the wheel continues to roll in a different place, maybe in a different country or planet, who knows when, with parents, and here we start again. Then later on, the funny thing is that we get identified with a new one. Yes. How many ones we have been, and now, I am Bhikkhu Rahula, I am this one, son of Martha, son of Rahul, born in Mexico, Mexican, and I like this, and I like that, and we get attached again to the new one. Never existed. It's just moving. Unbelievable how easily we forget. Very easily seduced, very easily cheated. I am me, and I have to defend my ideas and whatever, and my things, mine. We get attached, and nature just listens. Okay, you keep moving, keep going.
Therefore, remember, after the 15 and 16 Bhavanga moment, the first Pawan Kantika process, the first mental process is one of Loba Mula, no? That the first seven javanas is always loba.
Always desire. Desire is the beginning. We start with that.
The mental process always attaching to whatever kind of new life that we are
We
having.
love life, my dear family. None of us wishes to die. We love life. We like life. We are attached to life, and we will do whatever we can to preserve it. We like this, hence we are here. So the next question, my dear family, for all of us, are you really you? Here comes again. Are you really you? Really? Are we really we? Am I? I really? Where? From where? How many times? For how long? 80 years? Wow. The cosmos is much older and bigger. 80 years. A lifetime. Son of Marta, son of Raul. No way. Really? We pause a little bit. Let's pause a little bit here, my dear family. Particles arising and passing away, elements moving, units of consciousness arising and passing away. Nature is rolling. No one can possess a cloud. It will be madness for a man or a woman to claim that that he bought a cloud. Is this cloud really ours? May the understanding grows, may the teaching of the Buddha takes root and help us to see, to take the blinds of all of us. I hope it takes the blinds of my eyes. Let's allow the depths of the teaching. There's still more to come, my dear family. More freedom. If we can translate all this information into freedom, what a wonderful investment we are doing here. May all this theory become freedom. May all this theory become compassion, altruism, and love. May all this become detachment, freedom. May our parents and family, friends, be well. All the people who is sick, all the people who is right now dying. May mental stability and understanding accompany us on this journey. Thank you, my dear fellow travelers. It's a pleasure to be here. Okay, my dear Fer, tiene una pregunta.
Yes, Fernando,
Don Fer, please.
Oh, it was already answered. It was about the other types of generating rupa, but you like clarify that the last 17 moments, the only one that is not causing more rupa is the kamma. So it was already answered. Thank you.
Good, good. We also asked this question to our teacher. Teacher, so why when a person died, he just not disappear? The body just not disappear. Oh, because there is also, remember, and this is the topic of today. We have kammaja-rūpa, born of kamma-rūpa, chitta-ja-rūpa, uddhacca-rūpa, and ahara-ja-rūpa. So ahara will stay in the world. We cannot bring our lunch to the next one. Only potentiality will arise there, and be very skillful to gather the elements to become a new one. We became one. We are, it is a fact. We are here. Yes.
Also, what I wanted to say is that most of the time here we are focusing only on human beings, no? But the Abhidhamma, of course, is explained about all kinds of beings.
Yes.
So in the case of Deva, some deva are womb born, so they have mother and father. They get like some months in the mother's womb, so it's like very much like human being. Some devas, they are spontaneously born, immediately born. Brahmin, Rupa Brahmin is surely immediately born. So for those beings, they are kammaja-rūpa. They all appeared at the same time in Patisandhi moment, all complete. So for humans, slowly after 11 weeks, then eye happened, and then the ear, and all these things.
We get developed in 9 months.
Yes, but for those other beings which spontaneously born, so all those rupas, they happen together in Patisandhi, everything together. So it's just arise like that. And for the beings without rupa at all, which is the arupa Brahmin, non-material Brahmins,
no
so
rupa.
only Patisandhi Chitta will arise without any rupa together, because in those places there is no rupa. No? So, and Abhidhamma explained about all beings, but since we are human, so we focused on how human works. So therefore, we explained it this way, but we have to understand that also for other beings, sometimes there are different ways.
Yes. Let's try to continue at least as humans, my dear family. Let's do the minimum good. So we continue at least with this opportunity. Hopefully better. Dewa can be nice, less pain, longer life, and more stability of mind. Hopefully we develop our mind with a lot of generosity, mostly to get to Deva. Generosity has a lot to do with morality, sila. So hopefully we have a better one, and or at least to born in a place where we have no violence, lack of necessity, so we can continue developing ourselves. But if that happens or no is not a given. The fact is that right now we are in very good condition. So let's continue trying our best. Yes.
Okay. So
everybody ready?
Here, everybody, yes.
Question, comments. Somebody there? Somebody?
I have a question about the after the 17 mind moments. How does Rupa grow above 51, like to become many millions or billions or even more?
Yes.
Because it's, the relation in the first 17 is linear. It's just the Shita multiplied by 9. But then after that, how is explained the growth? Yeah.
So this graphic is to show that each, like talking about one kalapa
Yeah.
is growing, no? So in the first moment, I believe according to the scriptures, I will ask our teacher again, but I think in the first moment, only Patisandhi and only 3 groups arises. So this 51 is there, yes, until the 17th moment. But later, in the second moment or in the third moment or fourth moment, if there are many other kalapas, other kaya or the body sensitivity kalapa, a whole bunch arise in the second moment, and then another whole bunch arise in the third moment. So that will be like one kalapa makes 51, no? So if there is 10, so it's 510. So therefore we said that in each sub-moment, there is not only one kalapa that arises. So many can arise at the same time. So therefore it depends on the karma of that person. Maybe 100 arises, or maybe 200 arises. Or if it was an elephant, maybe hundreds of them arises at the same time. So they multiply and become such a big elephant. No?
When we clarify this precisely last week with Salu Kamsachara, he said that actually in the explanation, they just take, because obviously it would be impossible to hold such numbers in the head. He just give one by one, but he says actually when they born, it's a lot of, with the same functioning, a lot of kalapas arising.
Yeah. So each group becomes 51 at the end. So many groups, so a lot. But first moment maybe only 3 because it's just very first moment. Then later on it multiplies and a lot more happens. And plus later on now in the next session, then we will look at kammaja-rūpa, matters born because of mind, born produced by mind. Then also another whole bunch, and then another group of temperature, and then another bunch of food, no? Our teacher said, the more we eat, the more fat we get, no? So it depends on how
it depends on the ahara. If Loba takes more food, yes, those kind of particles will continue arising,
yes, so
and will get stored. Yes, Andreita.
Hi, everyone. I think it's a lot of information and really complex, but thank you so much for doing this work. It's amazing, the graphics and everything, it just makes it so easy and, well, easier for the mind to comprehend. So thank you so much. Sorry.
Andreita, follow-up question. How do you feel? We know it's a lot of information. We expressed it at the beginning. Let's get ready. Today something is coming. Do you think there is a way to make it more digestible? Is it okay, the quantity, or make the class focus in less information? How do you think this could be more digestible? Or if it is fine, or if someone else wishes to comment, let us know. Yes, how do you feel?
I feel fine.
Fine.
It helps a lot with the pictures and images. That makes it a lot like really digestible. Yeah.
Yes. Imagine how we felt when we were with Salo and he only speak, and we needed to imagine the whole thing. We came many times with a head like this and with so much hunger. Unbelievable. It was after each class with Salo. When we come out, we were every time assaulting the snack shop under the Seattle's building because we came so hungry. Amazing how much energy it requires. Yes, patience, my dear family. It's gonna come up. Everything at the end, you will see. Hopefully, we can make the whole picture. The universe is deep. Thank you, Andreita. Thank you.
Yes, I think graphic is it's helpful.
It helps a lot.
Even for myself, when I'm making the graphic, then I said, no, something's wrong here. Then you have to think again. Then I said, no. This feels a little bit strange. Then I have to do again, because when I make the calculation, when Sado explained about how this in the 17th moment, and the first one passed away, and then the one arises. So 51
you have to imagine the whole thing.
1, so we imagined. And then later on, when I was making the graphic, I said, how is that possible? We only have 51 if the whole body is so big?
The question of fair, precisely.
How is that possible? Like Kaya Pasada, body sensitivity, it's all over the body, you know? Like if such a big body, 51, that is not possible. Like how does it work?
Yes.
I have to call Salo. Okay. Actually, it is not only 51. It's only like so. So Salo explained further. So making these graphics also helps our own understanding as well. So it's a good process of learning for both sides. So thank you also for the opportunity.
I also have to confess something about Charana. He don't get doubt all the time. Sometimes she comes, I'm in the other room working and something, and she will come with a face like this. Wow, amazing, something, because of the preparation comes up. I never understood until after last 2 weeks, we have stayed at the end like, wow, but this happens. And the mind we're just giving good food to the mind. So it starts thinking about it. How does it work in me? How does it work in my family? Look at your mother with the Abhidhamma eyes and it will be a very different relation. Look at your pet with the Abhidhamma eyes and it will be a very different relation. A lot of weight will come out of it because we just see nature happening. Wow, mental formations, physical formations, moving and moving. So very interesting, my dear family. May all of this become actual practice and benefit. Last person, my dear family. Somebody else have something to share? Somebody, continue then.
Okay, let's continue with kammaja-rūpa just a little bit. Okay. So kammaja-rūpa is produced inside each individual according to his or her own karma, his or her own action. So what it wants to say is actually, if this person, whatever she does, the karma will not produce result in him. And whatever he does will not produce result in her.
Nope.
Yes.
Karma is not transferable.
So whatever this person does will give him result. Whatever this person does will give her result. So it is not possible that what I say, okay, I do this thing for him, so he will get this result. It's not possible unless he do it by himself. Okay, so karma does not transfer. It is only his own karma, her own karma. So therefore, it said kammaja-rūpa is produced inside each individual according to his or her own karma. That means kammaja-rūpa, it's only here within our own body. So as we said also last time, these ones like related to our karma, but they are not kammaja. They are not produced by karma. Although it is related.
So, as the Buddha says, whatever thing we do, good or bad, of that we will be the heirs, los herederos of that. We born because of our karma, we abide by our karma, and we live because of our karma, and we are generating new karma. Whatever we do, of that we will be the heirs. That will be our inheritance in our future, and whatever comes after death, our inheritance, we are planting it right now with our words, with our thoughts, and with our physical actions.
Our appearance and everything, this is kammaja.
Everything. Cannot complain.
Yes. Okay.
No
so,
complaint box in the universe.
Like in this case, like the eye sensitivity or the body sensitivity is kammaja-rūpa, no, without doubt. Or that the kammaja-rūpa only produce inside of us, not outside, we just said. But whatever good things or bad things we have, material things like clothes or other things, they can be related to our karma. Because if we have good karma, then we acquired also something good, good
Material
things. So these are called kamma pachaya, karma supported, karma conditioned, but they are udu samutana. Samutana means arise,
arose because of temperature.
Arising or born. Also udu samutana rupa. So like clothing or shoes or whatever material things we have, those are kamma pachaya, because they are related to our karma, so conditioned by our karma, but they are only produced by temperature.
One time we asked to Seattle, what is the rupa that there is more in the universe? And he definitely says uduja, the matter that arises because of temperature. And science, it's very similar to it. That's why the law of thermodynamics and all that, because of temperature, matter changes, and it's a fact. The one that is the most, the rocks, the trees, the plants, the planet, the stars, etc., temperature based moving.
Yes,
a lot of it. And our karma just is the condition for us to get contact with it, but it's not generated because of our karma. The thing was there. The house we born was built before we born. We already arrived into a house. Our karma didn't do it. That house was born previously, which just happened because of our good conditions of karma, happened contact with that kind of utuja rupa, previously created.
Yes. Sometimes it's quite amazing. Whatever is outside things, not inside the body or animals or whatever outside thing is basically only the abhiniboga, the 8 inseparables produced by temperature. But it can have so many combinations, no? But it is only that, nothing. It's just a combination of these 8 inseparables in different combinations, and it makes all kinds of things. It's quite amazing.
And directly, we depend on temperature. If the sun was to shut off, we all will die immediately. All the plants very soon will die, and humans very soon will. Animals will die, and all humans will die. We depend on temperature. We eat energy. The sun throws the temperature and energy. The plants catch it, transfer it into sugars, proteins, etc., then we consume them, we continue our life. We are light, we are stardust, we started in an explosion, so a lot of things to do with temperature in this universe.
Okay, so now we just mentioned that karma is not being able to transfer and all, but then remember sometimes we do share merits. Yes,
yep.
Like after we do something good, and we said that we share merits with other beings, and I said, so how does that work? Yes, so if it is not transferable, so the only thing is that actually it is not transferable, but we said we share merits. So when we say this, if the other person, they are happy about what we have done, then good mind state is being generated in themselves. Yes, so it is because of their own good mind state that is being generated that they get good result. So we are just giving some kind of outside conditions that we have done this good and that good. Then if they say sadhu, or if they think this is nice, they are happy about our action, then good mind state generate inside themselves. Then because of this good mind state, good result will happen to them.
Technically, we cannot bless nobody, but we can inspire to bless themselves. We tell them, yes, this good is happening. I did this, I share it with you, and if they feel happy, they're beautiful already inside because of our actions. We can make the other people beautiful if we do good to oneself and others, and the other people sees it and appreciate it by our beauty. Beauty is becoming infectious. So that's why we share the merits, because we can change the content of other human being mind. We cannot control it, not even ours, but we can inspire it. This is the only way we touch, my dear family. That's why clear communication and confidence, it's key on any kind of relation.
Yes. Now, we have also talked about, we have heard about like collective karma, like something like a karma that is like for the whole bunch of
similar karma.
Yes. So let's say, actually, this technically it cannot happen. But since now being together, all of us here, like over 10 people, we are doing the same thing at the same time. Yes. So we are planting similar seeds at the same time.
In the same line. Now,
yes,
definitely not in the same place.
Yes, and we have cyberspace. Yes.
Cyberspace.
So anyway, so if we are of a similar age, then probably we might die in a similar age. For example, we will never know because of karma, no? But if everything's like normal and everybody lives until 80, 90, whatever, then we die similar age, then we're born, and if we happen to meet again, then some kind of this karma that we do together can give result in similar time. So it seems like there is a collective karma, like we all happened like that, no? But actually it is every individual's karma. But because we did things together with different mind state, of course.
The seeds sprout similarly.
Similar.
Because the conditions were similar, planted at the same time with the same intention, similar intention, similar conditions, the fruits will come similar. So maybe we are family for the next one. If we are still around, maybe we will be son or daughter, father and mother, or couple. Well, who knows what happens? It's very weird, very weird.
So that could be very possible, but technically there is nothing that is called a collective karma. There is no one thing that we do together and then we have these joint seeds and then this will give result again together. Nothing.
Not collective karma, not collective consciousness, not at all. Not collective consciousness. No, not true, not true. We must demolish that giant. It's not true. Impossible, technically impossible.
Yes. But of course, outside influence, people can think in a similar way because of cultural influences or education or whatever. That is possible, but individual is individual. Yes. So we have asked our teacher.
We born alone and die alone. Yes. Sorry.
Yes, and then and he gives a very good example, which I think is nice. He said, like, okay, so let's say you see there is now 5 person here with their phone. Yes. So when there is a signal, so signal is everywhere, yes, everywhere. But if I call this girl, her number, her phone will ring. No, his phone will not ring. Their phone will not ring. When I call her number, only her phone will ring. Yes. So although signal is everywhere, but everybody has their own line. Yes. So signal is everywhere, but her line and his line does not cross.
Cannot cross.
So if you call her, only she get the message and the other person no. Yes. So everybody has their own process, has their own mental and physical process, and whatever they do will only give them result, will not give to other person.
They can share with the person beside what was the content of their karmic call. But the line is individual, my dear family. Karma is our inheritance. We are making it right now, and that will be the fruit. So is the seed, so is the fruit.
Okay, so no collective karma. we can have something similar arising together because we do things together, but not as a collective. Okay.
Funny humans.
Yes. Okay. So until here, we finished with the 4 causes of matter. The first category, Kamma.
No, we didn't finish with the
We
4.
finished with
We
the first
finished with
category
one of the 4,
of the
which is
4,
Kamma.
yes, Kamma.
Yes.
Yes,
Now
which is
we
Kamma.
still have the Chitaja-rūpa, Uduja-rūpa, Yaharaja-rūpa.
Yes. So we have 20 minutes. Is everybody okay? Should we start Chita or we stop here? Or how does everybody feel?
I'm
Okay,
hesitant.
switch on your mic and then
I'm
we can
hesitant.
see what everybody feels.
I think it will be good to stop here and this information and then start a new subject the next session.
Less questions,
If
comments.
you have some questions or comments.
Andreita y Marifer. Yes.
It's a little technical, but when you explained the death process about Rupa, that it stopped 17 moments before, I was wondering if it's the same in any kind of death, like if you die from an accident or suicide or
Mind, yes, mind is faster than a bomb. Mind is faster than a car crash. So the physical, even though for our time perception, it will be very quickly, the process will be precisely the same because in terms of human time and in our time, even a sudden death will not be so sudden for the mind. It will just have cause and effect, nothing else happens. That's it. It will never jump or have a different kind of, the cause of death has nothing to do with the workings of nature. It will not alter temperature. It will not alter the nature of consciousness. It will just happen as a surprise before time, untimely death, but definitely even a bomb, the mind is faster than a bomb. Yes.
Yes. If you see the billions of moments, so one mental process it's so fast, no? It's so fast. So it just stopped arising one mental process before. I mean, 17 moments, no? 17 moments before. So it's billions moments of the of how we call a second or things, no? So it's actually very, very short time, but we are looking at the microscopic, no? So, yeah. But yes, it stopped because it is just how nature works.
Yeah, at the speed of mind, our world is in slow motion. It's like in the movie of Spider-Man, you know, when, I don't know if you have seen it, I think I saw one time, when he gets the powers, suddenly the spider bites him and something, and suddenly he sees everything because his perception is so sharp. His frames of ratio or resolution of his mind, I don't know how to call it, at least that's how he put it, it is so heightened that he can see the thing moving, like a fly will see us. We come the giant trying, and the fly already saw us. Oh, his mind, his hand is coming, and then he has plenty of time to move away. That's why it's so hard to get a fly. That's why it's so hard to get a fly. So, I mean, just bringing worldly, but yes, that will happen. And I will say that in jhana, something like that must be perceived by our normal human mind. Our potentiality of development is quite big and vast. But society requests very little from ourselves, unfortunately. Our families, I'm sorry, society, our jobs request very superficial characteristics of our mind. We have a lot of potentiality that is just resting or waiting. Yes, Andreita, something else? Yes, welcome. Marifer.
Thank you. This fact about ourselves and our kalapas and we as we are dying and becoming and passing away, I understand it, but I don't fully get it. Like, to be honest, I was kind of lazy with math and physics since school, so this knowledge. So I get it, but I don't fully get it. Is there any other sources where you could tell me how to fully understand it?
Yes, meditation. Development,
okay.
Stability of mind.
Okay.
awareness, mindfulness, and the invitation of constant wisdom and perseverance, dedication in a relaxed way, we make practice our life. It is difficult when we set up ourselves, and I agree with you, it's difficult to set up. But if we just do it, if we just practice on specific moments of the week or a specific time of the day, my dear family, I have bad news. If we don't make our practice something natural, find a way that make our life the ground for development, it will take much longer. So the invitation and the process will be, as the Buddha says clearly, sila, samadhi, and panya. We stabilize the mind because we don't do bad and we do good on top of it. So the mind gets stable. Once the mind gets stable, it will be easier for it to concentrate and to be calm and start contemplating naturally. We get information as we are doing. We are already trying, getting theory, and now we need to bring it back to the laboratory and put in terms of goodness and understanding. The only way will be familiarization, repetition, patience, and naturality, I will say so.
And also another thing, all this information is to help us understand how nature works. So sometimes it is not necessary that in the meditation or in our daily life that we see our body arises and passes away, because that is so fine and so fast that we might not be able to see it. For example, like sometimes like people have this Abhidhamma information, and then they try to meditate, and then I will see the rising of each mind, and then this Chetasika, and then the passing away of it. Then it might be possible if the mind is so concentrated, and it could be possible, but sometimes it is difficult. It might not be possible that we see so clearly, because it's like billions are passing in each moment. So the purpose of the Buddha explaining this information to us is that so we know that there is how things work, and then how nature, how the process is naturally unfolding by itself with ourselves. So the main point is we know that there is anatta. So the main point is that things happen, in fact, not because of me.
Yes.
So this is the main point why these teachings or how the things work are being explained. So it is sometimes not necessary that we see exactly how it happens, no? Because sometimes we might not be able to, unless we have like the wisdom of the Buddha, which is like a very amazing microscope, laser eye, then everybody can do that.
Two more things, Marifer, and we will need to buckle up. We will need to buckle up. So let's put the safety. Two things. Let's look at one first. This thing, beyond being understood, needs to be experienced. This is what the Buddha says. This is just the theory of what we are. It's just the words and the concepts that we are putting out. So if we are only focusing in understanding the theory, we are missing the real stuff. We are reading the menu without eating, without tasting the food. When we see the name of a dish, it doesn't taste nothing. It's just a concept. This is what we're doing right now. So and here's the point where I'm doing. Often, Marifer, let's be very careful that what we are looking for, because of our desire or our idea that we have about how understanding should be, is preventing us from actually experiencing it. We all must be very careful with lobha coming into the process of wisdom. Lobha must not be polluting wisdom. Sometimes I also wish to understand, but it is beyond understanding, remembering that it is experiencing, and that will be only come through practice. We get some theory, and whatever we understand about it, let's put it into practice. Really bringing it into the laboratory until, until we prove it. That force that arises from that experimentation will guide us, and it will be goodness coming, more confidence, and we can eventually drop. Remember that all this teaching will be dropped later on. When we accomplish enlightenment, we won't need none of this theory anymore. The teaching, all the Abhidhamma, is just the boat that will help us cross the river of suffering. But once we get to the other side, it will be meaningless to continue carrying the boat in dry land. So all this, we will let go of the teaching, we will let go of the Dhamma, only goodness will stay. And just to summarize, We must be very careful,
But
my
don't
dear
worry,
family.
even you get enlightened, you won't forget about
Yeah,
that, and you can share with others.
You can
as well.
share. And better, because you proved already. It is true. There is freedom. The Buddha spoke about freedom, and it is true. This is how it happens. You will be able. Doña Marifer, por favor, share. Remember, come back and show us. Now, one quote that we love from Richard Feynman, very beloved and mischievous quantum physicist or theoretical physicist. He says something, and this is the warning, very important, very succinct. He says, the first principle is that you must not, and remember something, you are the easiest person to be fooled. Ooh, here we go again. Let's see that that what we are looking for is not already in our hands. Watch out for Loba intervening with wisdom. Wisdom must be by itself. The first principle is that we must not fool, and remember that easiest person to be fooled. Richard Feynman. Wow. Yes, Don Alex. Ok, Marifercita, estamos juntos en esto. Fuerza, compañeros.
Thank you.
My comment or question is also regarding kind of Marifer's about how to take all this knowledge, which by itself is very, it's changing a lot of concepts, and we're trying to apply it in our daily life, but in a practical way and towards the meditation path. I'm still lost in that translation. How can I use this knowledge in my meditation practice, or how should I point my meditation practice through trying to experience this knowledge in a way that kind of closes the circle? And I assume that after this, we will probably be into more practical guidelines.
That is chapter 9, precisely. Chapter 9 speaks only about the practical applications of all this. And that's why the Buddha gave all this information, and you will know where, why, and how. We are in chapter 6. It is coming, my dear family. But yes, we can advance on that line.
What I can say is, whatever knowledge or information that we have acquired, I think this is already having an effect in our life. Because we know what is kusala, we know what is akusala, we know what is the result of it, and we know if we do that, what happened. If we do that, what happened. No, if we do good, what happened. If we don't do good, what happened. How it works. So, because of this knowledge, then I believe in our daily life, whenever, sometimes we forget, but whenever we remember, we try not to do bad, or when we do bad, we think twice, or when we do good, we know it is good. So already this information is affecting how we act.
Because we know the depth of the implications of our acts. That's already doing. So, we cannot underestimate what it's already doing. Yes. Sorry.
Yes. So what we are doing is kamma. Yes. So whatever we are doing right now, it's kamma, which will give results. So already this is affecting the way how we live. And everything is meditation. Also, whenever we are being mindful, trying to keep the mind in the wholesome area and not going to the unwholesome area, that is already meditation. I feel like those information is like the glasses that I'm putting on, and I'm trying to always look through those glasses. So it's not something that I have to remember and I have to think about it, but because that information is already in the back of the mind, so it is working its own. But sometimes still, for example, in the dependent origination or something, so that is something to be contemplated upon. So sometimes we also take this information and we contemplate on how it works, and then we think about it, and that is also possible for practice. Well, Bante will tell you some more. So I mean, it is two things. Though sometimes it is already in the background, and sometimes we take the information and contemplate on it.
Now, Don Alex, En la arena de la lucha libre espiritual, in the arena of the spiritual wrestling, as you may know, I am more inclined to los rudos que a los técnicos. So if I were to be a spiritual wrestler, I'm rudo. I don't know how to say in English, but how do I apply it directly? And I do take a lot of the theory. How do I do when I'm living and practicing? Because actually, to be very honest, I would prefer not to see a difference between, I don't use these two words. If I say practice and life, I feel incomplete. I say the practicality of life. The thing is together because we have this opportunity, there is no time to waste. That's why I became a monk, in order to try at least to devote as much of the time, not taking care of worldly matters, etc., you know. So how do I do it? Very practically. I put, as Charana says, the glasses of Abhidhamma. And as I mentioned before, instead of looking to my mother as my mother and all the stories and all the ideas, I just start thinking as an experiment without letting them know, because people will get even frightened if you start telling them, how do you see, what do you see? I start thinking, wow, this is a mental process happening. What ingredients are there in? Definitely is sanya, definitely is contact. What else is accompanying them? Kusala, akusala. You start looking at your pet. Look at your pet with the Abhidhamma eyes. Then you start sitting, and then as you're feeling a sensation, what is this that is happening? You start bringing the theory, really making it alive. How? These are matters, these are particles. I know it is. How does the mind experience? What does the mind make with it? Start making questions based on the information. Bring the theory onto the fabric of reality, onto the fabric of a real life. How do we apply it? I don't see, I mean, personally, there must be many ways of doing it, and our teachers have many different styles. But the best way to do so, bring the theory, get even with one single piece of the theory we saw today, we can spend the whole day contemplating about it. It's so rich. For example, matter. As we started in the beginning of the meditation, this is just a bunch of kalapas. What does my mind bring on it? When I feel attached and say I, which mental ingredient is doing so? When we, as the saying says, divide y vencerás, the more we divide the process, the more we are approaching what the Buddha wants us to understand, which is anicca. Everything is changing. Can we say that any particle is permanent? No. Can we say that any mental content or emotion is permanent? No. Can we say that it's satisfactory? I leave you the answer for yourself. I can already say definitely it's not permanent, and it is satisfactory in itself because it needs to change again. Now, the most important thing, can we see in the working of nature? Can we find myself? Can I find me? Where am I? Who am I? What is the self? This is the very thing that the Buddha is trying to make us understand. Three things. How does he need to do? He first needs us to show us, look, matter has no self. It is always changing and it is unsatisfactory. You can see it in direct experience, bringing the theory to life. Mind, it's always changing. It is unsatisfactory, and it has no one is really guiding the process, but a collection of parts. How to bring the teaching, my dear Alex? Creativity now is the thing. My dear family, let's play respectfully with the Dhamma. Roll the ball. Vámonos a la cancha y pateemos el balón intelectual, el balón, we just kick the ball and see where the ball takes us. Keep following the ball and let's have fun. It's really, it can be really interesting. It's a whole drama. Get one part of the teaching that calls your attention, make more investigation, go to as much as far to the bottom and see, make this question, which is golden. It has been golden in my life. This that I'm hearing from Seattle, what does it mean here? If we don't make that question, this will just continue to be jargon and theory out there and meaningless. If we cannot apply what we are learning here in our lives with our family and co-workers, we are wasting our time, my dear family. We're just filling up with fact, which it will do good in any way, and it is already doing good, but how does that mean here? Am I really so? So is that, Don Alex, I'm trying to give as much as possible cercanidad to bring us closer to it, and I will invite you to al Club de los Rudos. Rudos, señoras y señores. Only if it stays in theory, it will stay in theory. How do you feel?
Makes a lot of sense, and kind of reminds me where, from the perspective of making music, how would you learn to make music just making it? If, of course, there's a lot of theory involved, but you won't get to start making music, and that concept of playing with the ball respectfully, it's beautiful. It's using the creative mind to experiment and to investigate and applying all this knowledge in daily life. Thank you.
Yes. This is about it. We must make this alive. Otherwise, it's dead. Why we're just wasting our time? Dead. We need to bring it alive, and we have a lot of creativity. I know many of you. I mean, not many of you. I know many of our creative qualities. We must bring this. Have fun, my dear family. Enjoy the process. It is unbelievably amazing. It's a miracle. We are a miracle. It's happening. Let's never let our mind die with I know. May this thought never arise. Oh, I know about that. Nothing. Hijo, no tienes nada que decirme. The universe is so big. Continue with curiosity. Appliance, experiment, and many of them will fail. But what we need to do with the fail, not be afraid of making mistake. We make the mistake and get the lessons. That's the goal. Get the lessons and reapply. Iteration over iteration over iteration. My dear family, we're going to break this nut. If we continue at it, one day we will break this nut. And yes, one day this is gonna be broken. We must apply ourselves, my dear family. Thank you. Thank you for all of us trying. The teaching is beautiful in the beginning, it's beautiful in the middle, and it will be very beautiful in the end. It's clear, and I feel we are very fortunate. Let's try. At least we try. We can die at peace saying, at least I tried. Honestly, sincerely, without jargon or egos or whatever, as much as we can. No words.
Yeah. Well, let's continue, everybody. So thank you very much for sharing today. And the practice and the exploration continues. So as Bante said, let's bring it to every moment of life, and there will be where we will get the benefit and render real understanding, which leads to the final goal. So may we all arrive. And so sadhu, sadhu, sadhu for the effort. So may all be well, happy and peaceful, and we'll see you again next week, and we'll continue with the other causes of metta.
The Buddha's teaching is described Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasiko Panayiko Pachatam Veditavo Vinyuhiti. It is directly perceivable, it invites investigation, and it can be only under wise. It gives fruit immediately. The fruits in nature do not wait. If we are clear on what needs to be done, purifying our mind, avoiding doing bad as much as we can with morality, and doing good with service to oneself and others, we just wait for the fruits of where we're putting in. The nature, it is there and it will just do its job. It's our ability to apply ourselves into the good side of it. My dear family, may all of us be well. I'm very, as you see, the emotion just comes. There are many potentiality in all of us. So I'm fine. It's joy, actually. So we continue in this. We are very well taken care. We have many teachers. The teaching is still alive. Let's try the best with this opportunity. May our family, mother and father, be well, our teachers, friends, family, brothers and sisters, neighbors, all our community, society, countries, our planet, all beings be well, protected from harm, and with mental stability.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Bhavatu Sabha Mangalam Rakantu Sabha Devata Sabha Buddhanu Dhammanu Sanganu Bhavena Sabha Sukhi Bhavantu Te. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Por el poder de todos los Budas, su enseñanza, el Dhamma y la Sangha que se encarga de cuidarlo, que siempre haya felicidad y bendiciones para todos nosotros. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Have a good night and see you
night.
next week.
Good night, my dear family. We love you. I love you. Gambare, gambare. Ah.